sit down.
What is going on, dads? And welcome to episode 61 of the Dads After Dark Show, recorded on Sunday, September 5th, 2021. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and that sweet pumpkin spice season. John, you a pumpkin spice guy?
No, I love fall. It's spooky season, and I know it's your favorite, and you're wearing an orange shirt.
Yeah.
It's a spooky shirt, but I'm never into the kind of pumpkin stuff. Although I do like pumpkin pie. How about you?
I'm not like a pumpkin spice latte guy, but I do love a good pumpkin flavored like muffin or maybe a donut. But that's it. I don't know. I'm more into just the Halloween. Halloween is here. I went to the store today. I spent over $200 on Halloween decorations, John.
Which store do you go to?
Well, this was just Lowe's. Lowe's had a lot of stuff. We went to a bunch of stuff. We were trying to do early just to maybe get the kids' costumes out of the way, but there's still not quite everything out yet. Still a little too early.
Yeah. We usually end up going at some point, but this year I really do want to spend some of that child tax credit money. I want to go to Spirit or Lowe's or whatever and get like some big decoration, and I don't want to put it outside. I want to put it in our living room. I want us to see it.
It's a great point. You spend more time, in your living room.
Yeah.
I bought at Lowe's, they had like, it was $100. They had like a tall, like spooky tree, with like the face and it lights up and stuff. So I got that. But I'm not a big fan of the blow ups. Are you?
No, I'm not. They're noisy, and
I'm not a blow up guy.
No,
me either.
You're not a blow up guy. You are married. I just want something cool with like red devil eyes and whatever. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I hear you. So, what have you been up to? What's been going
on? Nothing. I'm starting. I have a week of fun ahead of me. Well, we're in it. Yeah, we got the Labor Day weekend. I have been hoarding. We've talked about PTO. I've been hoarding my PTO because I'm not used to having PTO, and I'm trying to save it up for the. It's my PTO is like a video game. I'm hoarding all my best items for a final boss, and I'm never going to use it. I don't want to take 2.5 weeks off for Christmas, so I'm starting to now use my PTO. I am enjoying Labor Day tomorrow. So it's like, it's nice. We get to record and we're off tomorrow.
Oh, so you off all week?
No, I'm off tomorrow, but then Friday I'm taking off for Life is Strange, my Life is Strange weekend.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
My wife and I are going to play through the whole game. We're going to marathon it in 3 days. 3 days. So I'm taking Friday off, and then I'm taking the following Monday off because, just to sleep off on Monday. But yeah, I can't wait for Life is Strange. Comes out the same day as WarioWare too. I can't wait for Life is Strange. We're going to play through a couple episodes on Friday. Then we're going to go for a little walk in between, play through an episode and a half Saturday, Sunday.
I'm excited for you, John. I truly am.
Oh man.
Now, this is the new one?
This is the new one. Yeah. Okay. We're playing it on Xbox. It doesn't come out on Switch until later in the year. But I have it all pre-ordered on the Switch with all the Ultimate Edition. So super excited for that. And then after that, my wife and my daughter are going on a camping trip for 2.5 days. So Monday and Tuesday, it is just me and my 2 sons. So we're going to kind of like have a little couple bachelor nights, maybe do some things we normally wouldn't do with mom and sister around. And
drink
then
some beers.
And they come back Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, I usually get the kids to bed by like 8:30 or so when they have school.
Yeah.
So basically 8:30 till like 11:30 at night, I'm just gonna be gaming. That's it. So I'm gonna try to I'm gonna pick out a game. I gotta take a break from Life is Strange at that point.
I mean, I have some recommendations if you need any.
Oh yeah, what do you have recommended for me?
I mean, Ages of Mages or Mana Sparks, which you own and you still haven't played yet.
It just seems like it'd be a waste of those free nights to play Ages of Mages.
Listen, Mana Spark was a fun game. I really enjoyed that one. I mean, Ages of Mages, whatever, we talked about it, we laughed about it. Mana Spark, I actually enjoyed.
I'll play that one. I'll play that one.
I don't think you would hate it. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I'll give it. I mean, I already bought it because it was on a super sale, and I was like, all right, let me just get it. Yeah, so I have it. It's not the barrier.
Do it. Just do it.
And then the other thing happening, which you're noticing right now,
it's crazy.
We are using a new podcasting system. This is our
amazing.
61st episode, and we are using Zencastr right now. I really hope this works. We've done so many tests over the last day or two. It kind of happened quick, but this is something I've always wanted to do, is to look for a system that would handle our recording, but let us do sounds in show. And what this will let us do is I spend 45 minutes editing each of our long episodes, and it's kind of stressful, and I have to kind of put things in place manually with GarageBand. But we're going to try to do this in place. So when we're done, all I have to do is pull down our recording, and then just trim the beginning and end, and maybe just make a minor edit or two if we fuck up. And yeah, this will save me so much time. So I hope this works really
I'm happy
well
for you. You know, I can't say it's, I don't have to edit, which is nice, but this sounds. You know what? I like the sound clips. It's just I don't listen back to my own podcast every week. Every once in a while, if I ran out of my podcast, I might listen to some segments of it. But it's nice to see all the clips again and hear it all, because you're editing them every week, so you obviously see them and hear them. But I'm excited. Never instead of Sadie though.
No, it was the best part, and that was the first time you did the intro with the music playing in your ears.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't fuck that up. I almost started before the music even started.
I saw
it. You did, but I held off. So we were good there. We were good.
How has your week been going? I need to hear about the bees.
The bees. So Drew's Wildlife Preserve update. A lot of shit been going on in the preserve lately. We had deers. We had 3 deers.
Deer. They're not deers. It's deers. Deer.
No, deers.
The plural of deer is deer. I'll fix that for you. I'll put a little cross in the notes there.
So there's 3 deers.
There's not.
I saw some snake skin. Looks like a skin decided to shed its skin on my front walkway. So I had that going on.
Wow. That's a big flex. Like, here's my skin. Yeah. Like,
go fuck yourself.
Good luck coming outside. I could be anywhere.
So I have a bees story and a mice story. And you would think the bees story would triumph it, but the mice story is quite amazing. So I'm going to start with the bees and end with the mice. So cutting the grass today, and emptying the clippings. And I usually, I have 2 acres of wood, so I go into the woods and I dump them. So the first time I go into the woods, I noticed there's a couple of bees. Fuck, get out of there. The next time I kind of just forgot about it. I have the headphones in, listening to the Nintendo dads, and it's forgot that there was bees there. So I must have stepped on a bee's nest.
Oh God!
And not known it. And yeah, fuck bees. They stunned me. I got 2 stuns in the leg, and I haven't got stung by a bee in God knows long time. It's not something that happens all the time, and it hurt. It fucking hurts, John. It's like, whatever. The actual puncher just like like a little needle prick you, but then it's just like you can feel the venom, poison. I don't know, whatever the hell you would call it. Kind of just like seeping through, and I don't know, it's itchy, it's irritating. Luckily it didn't really swell up, but it's right below my kneecap. I feel like the stinger hit me in the bone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all. Well, that's fine. But
I've never actually been stung by a bee, so that's interesting.
Really?
Yeah, never.
It's a weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I said, think of a needle, like a shot. But after that, it's like a weird sensation of the venom or poison. Like, I don't know, you can feel it stinging inside of you. I don't know. It's a weird sensation. Anyways, mice. So now I'm cutting the front lawn, and I keep seeing this fucking mouse. And I've seen a lot of mice in my day, and they're very small. This was a big ass mouse. It wasn't a rat, but it was big for a mouse. Probably the largest mouse size I've ever seen. So it literally was crawling in my grass, and trying to, I'd go near to burrow into the ground. So stop digging holes in my yard, you little fucker. And so I kind of captured it and pushed it off to the side. Like, just get out of here. So then I'm cutting the grass, and it came back. And yeah, it yeah. Yep. Didn't make it, John.
Oh.
And you know what? I don't feel bad because I tried to get it out of there. I tried to save it, and it came back. And it wasn't gross. And yeah, it is what it is.
Did it make a sound?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
where do you live? What kind? Like in a zoo?
I don't know. It is a lot. All right. Last thing I want to talk about. I have a homework assignment for you or the listeners, whoever chooses to partake in it. So I have to go late minute work travel. I have to go to Chicago next week. I need a game. I have about 5 hours of flights. I probably have a little bit of hotel time, might have, 8 hours of gaming. And I want like a fun game that I can play through, maybe like a platformer or something. So the only thing I was thinking that I haven't played yet would be maybe like Ori. That could be like a good game to play on like a flight, pick up and put down type of game.
It's a game you don't put down. You definitely want to get something engrossing, right?
Exactly, like that,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
That's a Metroidvania is a good. I always find those games to be very engrossing because you level up, you power up, and you don't want to put it down. You're like, okay, now that I can do this double jump or something, I know a couple places where I can go. Ori is an amazing game. And it's not super long. You wouldn't finish it in 8 hours. But maybe in another like 4 or 5 or 6, you could finish it. So that's a good one. I was looking through the list of games I've played this year to see like what could totally engross you for a plane trip or two. And nothing's really coming up that I know you would like or you haven't played, like Rogue Legacy. That was so fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, Ori would be a good one. Plus, that's a game you just have to play.
I know. It's been like on my list. I did a look, well, if anyone else has any ideas, let me know. But yeah, I need something soon. I got about 7 days to figure it out.
If you get bored, you always have Slay the Spire waiting.
That's true. That's an easy one to just jump on it. You're right. That here's the problem. I'm going to jump onto it and then get sucked into just doing endless runs that mean nothing.
I have something to say about that later.
All right. I mean, that's about it, I think, for catching up. Anything for you?
No. I mean, I'm just kind of enjoying this time. I'm so happy we're off tomorrow. I'm going to do nothing tomorrow. Nothing.
I have 6:45 a.m. tea times, which means I got to leave my house around 6:15, 6 a.m.
With a bad back and bad leg.
Yeah, well, the hustle's real. You got to keep up there.
It'd be golf.
Gotta be golfing.
What do you say we talk about what we've been playing? Ooh, live sounds. So much fun.
It's weird. I like it.
It is weird. All right, Drew, there is one game we both played these past weeks.
Yes.
A little game called Spelunky.
But Jen, I don't know if we should talk about it just yet.
We don't want to talk about it. Oh, we can't edit this, can we?
Sure, we can.
We can edit it.
We'll just pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ooh, all right. So what else have you been playing? You've been cheating on me again?
I've had a weird gaming week. First of all, I played Bloodroots. This is on Game Pass. Justin had talked about playing Bloodroots before, and I remember looking at it and going, "Oh, what is this?" Like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. It looked a little more cartoony than I thought. It was on Game Pass, and I gave it a try. I guess like a month ago or so, and it was fun. Art style. You know what? Bloodroots cell shaded. Yeah. Have you ever played Katana Zero?
No.
It's kind of like Katana Zero. What about Hotline Miami?
Is that the one, like, what's the other one that's like that?
You just burst into rooms and shoot people,
but it's like an isometric bird eye type view.
No, it's like directly overhead. So no, I don't know what the genre of this game would be, but let's call it like bust in a room and murder people game. Those three games I think are the most similar, and I've played all three of them. I haven't played Hotline Miami 2, but I played Hotline Miami 1. I played Katana Zero. That's what this one is. But Bloodroots it's sort of a story of revenge. You walk into your town and everybody's dead, and you find this gang, and you're going to just hunt down this gang. And basically it's just level after level after level of going into an area and just killing everybody. The really fun thing about Bloodroots is you don't have a dedicated weapon. You pick up stuff off the ground, off tables, whatever is around for you. Okay. You grab it and you use it. They have like all sorts of weapons. There's some like rifle, musket type thing. There's not a lot of like gun weapons, just a couple. There are like swords that they'll let you like zoom forward and they're really powerful. But then there's like carrots, and you can just use them one time and club somebody in the head and kill them with a carrot. It reminds me of Breath of the Wild in that you don't just get a great weapon and you just use it. You just gotta find what you find. And in some levels, you want to use some of the more powerful weapons or some of the rangy weapons for certain enemies. And then in other times you're like, no, okay, use the carrot on this guy, use the mug on this guy, then pick up the gun and use that one. So it can be kind of strategic. Some levels you'll go through on one try. Some levels you have to try like 20 times. It's really fun. It does get repetitive, but every so often they'll like throw like a different level at you. So it just feels like just when you're like, oh my God, this is just too much of the same thing, you'll get a little bit different. I finished the game, and I was really relieved too, because it was getting a bit repetitive. The only disappointment I had was this feels like a game with a bunch of like achievements and like 100% completions and whatever. And they didn't really make that very easy. There weren't like, dropping hidden items in a level would be really fun to like really get you to explore the level or pay attention to the level you're on. Everything's pretty fast paced, but it would have been fun to kind of do some of that stuff. But basically when I finished it, I was done with it. But I had a lot of fun with it. And like I said, it's on Game Pass. It's not a long game, but I really enjoyed it. So that was really fun, and definitely would recommend if you want to get it on the Switch, because it is on the Switch. Then Yoku's Island Express. This is a game I've had for, I think, a few years. I always hear really good things about it. It's best described as a pinball Metroidvania, which is strange, and it's probably the only one. But it's a Metroidvania style game. You're on this island and you take over the old postmaster's job, and your job is to deliver mail. For the most part, you don't actually do that job. It becomes kind of like a side mission. You're just trying to like help everybody on the island. You're trying to get all these leaders together, and then something else happens.
What exactly are you? Some type of bug?
You are a bug. I think you're a beetle. And I think you're kind of implied that you're a dung beetle, but you're not like rolling around dung. You're rolling around what looks like a cue ball from a pool table. But it is in fact a pinball used in pinball. So as you're going around this island, there's these little like pinball sets, and you're just kind of like, in order to get from point A to point B, you have to go through a couple of pinball sets. And so if you love pinball and you love Metroidvanias, this game is kind of right up your alley.
I'm kind of intrigued because I'm a big Sonic Spinball fan, and it kind of looks like the level designs.
I will tell you this: when I started the game, I had it in my head that this is supposed to be a good game. Everyone who talks about it really likes it. I was enjoying it. It was very chill. A chill Metroidvania. I was like, oh, I like this. The music is chill. You don't have an energy bar in any way. I think when you, when you play pinball and you go into the gutter, or is that what they call it?
Sure.
The pit. I don't know. I think it counts how many times you've died or whatever. And after a certain number of times, it'll like hit the counter, but then you just continue from where you are. So, it's unlimited lives and all that. Towards the middle of the game, I found navigation difficult. I think Metroidvanias, the really good Metroidvanias, it's really fun to navigate from one side to the other. If you're on one side of the world and you want to get somewhere farther away, if you can do it quickly, like in Ori, Like that's how it happens in Ori. It's really fun to just fly through the level. But then games like Hollow Knight and games like Yoku's Island Express, it felt really slow and frustrating. And when I didn't know where to go, I felt like I had to just start exploring the world. But man, when you don't know where to go and you're trying to go left and you end up in essentially a pinball machine, it can be frustrating at times. So I did find the middle a bit annoying. But you do unlock sort of I don't know how to describe it, a way to sort of get around the whole island really quickly, sort of an express bus of sorts.
Okay.
That did make things a lot easier. So towards the end, if I had to go somewhere, I could get there fairly quickly. So yeah, I almost quit the game midway through. I told you I was kind of thinking I was going to quit this game, but I kind of kept with it, and I'm glad I did.
You're a dad that finishes.
We finished, man. But that one was a good game. And you know how with Metroidvanias, if you get stuck, just unluckily, it could be a real pain. Some people will play Axiom Verge and say, I hate it, because they just got stuck and they didn't know where to go. And then somebody else has a great time because they just happen to not get stuck. So your mileage may vary. But overall, I liked it. So yeah, that's Yoku's Island Express. And the last game I played is Griftlands again. I'm playing Griftlands again. We talked about this one on a few shows. This is a deck building game. I got it because it was made by Clay, who is a developer I like, and it was like Slay the Spire combat, but it had a story wrapped around it, and the story really slowed down the game for me, and I felt like I just wanted to play a card game. I came to, and I really wanted to like it because I like I said, I do like Clay. They did Mark of the Ninja. They did Don't Starve. So I've been trying it again lately, and I've been looking up some tips on how to play. You know, sometimes you just have to look at YouTube and get some beginner tips, and then maybe there's something you're missing that's totally changing the enjoyment of your game. I will not say that I have figured out why I wasn't enjoying the game, and now I totally enjoy it, but I'm getting there. I'm treating the game not like a Slay the Spire. I'm treating it like an RPG. I'm enjoying the story. I'm taking it slow. I'm trying to make decisions. I mean, in this game, they're basically like, hey, you know, you have this slave and you need to bring them here, but I want to kill that slave. And you've been told not to let any harm come to the slave. And they tell you, should you just let this person kill your slave, or do you want to protect the slave? And then sometimes it involves negotiating with somebody or battling with somebody. And you have 2 decks, so you can kind of do both. But if you treat the game like an RPG and you balance your decks, so for example, I had done some combat and my health was low. So when approached with the option of negotiating or battling with somebody, I decided to negotiate because I just had more negotiation health. And I found I was doing a little better with it. I still was dying though. But yeah, so I'm just trying to treat it like an RPG. This is one of the weirdest games where I don't like it, but I like it. And yeah, it's tricky. So I'm going to continue to play that one and see how it goes. But I have gotten past it just makes me want to play Slay the Spire thing now. I can now see it as its own game. I will say it's probably better to play on a PC. I think the interface, like you can play Slay the Spire with a console, like a controller. This one would be so much easier with a mouse. So I will say that. So if you ever wanted to play Griftlands and you had the choice, I would say play with the mouse. It's playable with a controller, but the interface is just a little more complex than it is on Slay the Spire. So, and that's what I've been playing.
Lovely.
What about you, Drew?
So as you know, you've mentioned, we both played Spelunky. We'll get to that a little bit later. But the problem was Spelunky was supposed to keep me going, and it didn't. We'll get to it. So I mentioned on the last show, I went out and I bought an adapter for my GameCube, and my wife and I were playing Mario Baseball. We were having a blast. We were playing the story modes, taking turns. She'd play when I wasn't even home. I'd play when I was home. And if you remember, Mario Baseball was awesome because you had to unlock star players, each person. Each person had between like 6 and I think like the main characters had like 12 mini missions. And it was so much fun. Like one mission would be hit 3 home runs in one game, or catch 5 balls in one game, or or get like a jump in catch, or it's just like random stuff. So it made the game a little bit more exciting because you're trying to do these missions within a game to get the stars. So it was a lot of fun. So we've probably put in like, I don't know, 25 hours over the last 2 weeks. And the memory card file got corrupted, John.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
was it the card?
Yeah, because it said like it couldn't find any file data on Mario Baseball, but it worked on other games. So my guess is back then, you remember if you turned the system off when it was trying to save or something like that. That's my guess of what happened.
Could be. I think those are flash cards too.
Yeah, so
and I mean, like, there's a lot of time between when GameCube was in use, and maybe they're
so that's gone. I pulled out, of course, Super Mario Strikers because I love that game, and I've been playing that game a little bit, and it's so fun. The first game I got my ass kicked. It's so natural, but now I'm playing on like the toughest difficulty, trying to win. It's just so fun. It's just, the game has the perfect balance of like I'm playing on like I think the Superstar mode. And it's like I'll win games and I lose games. It's like the perfect difficulty. Right. It's just so much fun. And just I forgot Nintendo. What were you thinking when you have the Waluigi when he scores? He has that celebration where he pretty much tells you to suck it. Like, how did they get away with that?
They just did. Well, they didn't develop the game, so I don't know. Maybe the other people just said, well, let's see if Nintendo notices.
That's amazing.
I love Strikers so much. I've never beaten it, and I get up to the final dudes. I can't beat them, so I'll go through the whole
robots?
Season. Yeah, whatever they are, I can't remember.
They're robots. Yeah.
I'll go through the whole season,
alert.
And when I play, I can really get myself in it. So while I'm playing, and if I score a goal, I start shouting "Go!" in my living room. I can really get into it.
Yep.
But I cannot beat those final guys. I've done it 3 times and lost to the final guys.
I'll tell you what, I used to play with my buddy for hours and hours. We used to be on the same team playing. And when you have the 2 people, it was so easy because you run to the corner, you do your power shot when you jump up in the air. And if you score, it counts as 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're doing that, usually you get hammered. You need like 3 seconds of no one touching you. But if you play with co-op, the other person can just start body checking the people while you're doing it.
Right, because you have the meter going up. And
so they're blocking. God, and it's just so fun.
I really hope they port this to Switch. Not port, I mean make a new one for Switch.
I know. Well, they did what on the Wii? I don't know what the success was. I just had to look at sales, but...
Yeah, but just imagine how good this would be on the Switch.
Online? Actually, Wii was online.
Yes,
you could play the Wii one online.
Yes, you could. Yeah,
online. Oh my god, this would be amazing. You're right. We need this game. Anyways, I think my GameCube time's coming to an end soon, just because whatever. But I didn't want to just ignore the Switch, so I did look into Super Animal Royale, which, if you guys, this has been talked about on different places, but it's essentially Fortnite and cute little animals in a linked Link to the Past style. I don't want to say graphics because it's but format, the top down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine. I probably played 10 games. There's some really good things about it. How it's easy to pop in and out. You can get games going really fast. The menus and customization of the characters are great. It's a free game to play. There's no money to be thrown at it unless you want to really get skins and stuff like that. But it was fun. These games aren't really my style. These big battle royale type games, but I wanted to give it a go. I enjoyed it, but probably won't be playing too much more of it.
I think that's what I've heard too, is it can get a little bit stale. But they're doing all the season stuff and whatever. So I'll be curious to see if you jump in and out of this one over time.
No, I won't. It's no Paladins or anything like that for me. Again, the other one I played was, I think the same people did Paladins. Something Realm. Royale Realm or something it was, which was Fortnite, but that one was a lot of fun. That one had a lot of crafting and stuff involved. This one is just pretty straightforward. It's basic, but
okay.
But that's it. That's all I've really been playing. A lot of GameCube. I did get back to the Switch, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sad that GameCube sort of violated your trust.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But John, autumn is in the air. Pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. if you know what I'm saying, right? So make sure you keep these things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap to fall in with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS. Now, John, Manscaped was lovely enough to send us some care packages, right? We're going to do something that I can guarantee not many podcasts sponsored by Manscaped do. We're going to do some live product testing right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to start off with the Crop Reviver. This is a refreshing ball toner. It seems like it's pretty simple. It says, for any time pick-me-up, spritz your goods once or twice and let air dry. This is like a little spray bottle. Let it air dry.
I imagine like standing there just naked.
Should I stand so you can see it in action?
No, I definitely don't want to watch you do this. But yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous here. This is like, when you shave your face and you put like aftershave on it, that little burn sensation?
Yeah.
So I shaved this weekend, John. I manscaped this weekend. I was well overdue because my back hurt. I couldn't really get a good one. I had to hold off. I did, the baby ass clean shaving this weekend. I'm down to the bones, and I'm nervous. I don't know what the hell I'm spraying on my freshly shaved balls, but
the aftershave is like an addictive feeling, right? It feels horrible, but like you start to love the pain of it.
Agreed. I don't disagree with that statement, but I don't know if I could say the same about that feeling on my balls.
Well, we'll find out right now, because you've never done this before. So
I've never done this. Luckily, I have soccer shorts on, so I don't have to. I'm just gonna get going here to the side. So it smells like old people. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's supposed to be a promotion, Drew.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's just my balls are gonna smell like. All right, here we go. Should I do 1 or 2 sprays? It says.
What does it say?
Once or twice. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna try both sides.
Yes,
one on each side. All right, here we go. Ooh, a little cold. Feels, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's potent. It's very potent. My wife's trying to think there's something going on up here, but I don't know. I just feel like I have wet balls a little bit here, but it feels good. I mean, it's you know what this would be good for? This is good for, and I think your product's going to be good for this as well. Like, keep it in the car, for you guys out there, you never know when or you don't have time to shower, but you and your wife want to get, a little going. Give it a little fresher.
Smell old man balls.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that aftershave a little bit, a little tingly down there, but yeah.
Would you bring this with you on the flight? So like halfway through the flight, you just need a little pick me up and you just look over and you're like, get the blanket.
Get the blanket. See, that's a good time to use it though, because you have to go do the, in the Mile High Club, you get a refresher.
You got to be fresh.
I'd use it again. I'd do it again.
Okay. Well, I am going to try the Crop Mop. I've got a bag here. The funny thing is this bag reminds me of like a snack. Like I feel like I'm about to eat like
it's
dried
like that heavy
peaches.
Yeah, like that heavy wax type. Can't see through it.
Yeah. So these are refreshing ball wipes, and Manscaped advertises them as such. These refreshing moist ball wipes were specifically designed for male hygiene. I'd hope so. They're ball wipes. And extra care for your intimate parts. They keep the boys clean and refreshed while soothing aloe vera leaves skin smooth and balanced.
Wow.
I'd be curious. I'm going to open up this package here. I would be curious to know the difference between these two products because
I kind of agree.
Oh, they're individually wrapped in there. Look at that.
Look at that. It looks like a little a hand wipe.
No, it's like a condom. It's like a bag of condoms.
How many you got in there?
They're a little taller than feels like about 20.
Feels like or looks like?
It says 15.
Okay.
So, okay, that's good because sometimes when you get these things, they dry up if you don't use them.
That's true.
Okay. This one doesn't smell like... It doesn't smell like old man. It smells familiar. It smells like your mom. It smells like my brother's cologne. Like he used to wear like Dakara or Draka or something like
He
that.
used to put ball wipes on his face.
Maybe that's what it is. All right, I'm gonna try this now.
If all fails, we can just put these, like, give them to our kids for, like,
Their face.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
It's
it feels like a wet wipe. Like I'm just like kind of cleaning down there.
Weird. Feels a little
And-
weird.
Yeah. All right. No, I feel fresh. I actually do. I feel fresh.
Michelle is going to be pumped up tonight. Like,
these would be useful when you go to like Disneyland.
oh, that's a good one. Or like after golf, if you can't, you got to like go somewhere.
You can't shower.
Yeah.
That's the thing nobody talks about when you go to Disneyland, that everyone gets sort of that swamp ass.
Yeah.
You feel disgusting.
You know what you need? I bring a when I go to Disney, I bring a little bottle of powder.
Yeah, you're big into the powder.
I love a powder guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
there's a few products.
Maybe I'm a crop reviver guy now.
I think you're a crop reviver, but I don't know if
Maybe next episode we need to switch it up. I'll do a ball wipe, you do the reviver, then we'll compare the two.
Switch it up.
Switch it up. You do mine, I do yours.
No, I do. I want to try the other one to get a good comparison. So maybe we will switch it up.
I like that.
All right. We should make that a topic sometime. Disney swamp ass.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the top 8.
Number 8.
All right, John. Big announcement the other day. Depends who you ask, maybe. Big Brain Academy. Brain versus Brain comes out December 3rd, 2021. I gotta be honest, I'm not a Brain Academy guy. Not that I don't like them. I think I missed the mark. So I need to help you explain it to me, because to be honest, it kind of reminds me a lot of like WarioWare in a weird way, but kind of more educational.
Yeah.
So explain it to me a little bit. Tell me if this is for me, this is for my kids. What's good or bad about this game?
Yeah, I loved this game. I didn't love it so much because I remembered it being on 3DS, but it was actually on DS. But I often
get
this
the same
confused.
game, or is this a new game?
This is a new game. So the first game, the history is the first game came out 2006 on the DS. It was very stylus based, and then they made a version for the Wii in 2007. That was called Big Brain Academy Wii Degree. I played both. I love them. You are right. It's very much like WarioWare. You're going to get brain challenges that are sort of based on the hardware. Wii Degree was very much about using the pointer and all that stuff. And, the DS version, you had you using the stylus. Yeah. Did you ever play Brain Age by chance?
I was going to ask you, is that different?
Yeah. So Brain Age is more scientific. Like Brain Age is not as fun, right? The fun about Brain Age is I want to find out my age, and you're going to give me these math challenges and these reading challenges, and I do, all that sort of stuff. But it's very my balls feel so refreshed, man.
My tingles still a little bit. I might do another spray.
It's very scientific. It's not fun. Brain Academy is more fun. They allow you to explore different areas, do different challenges, get different scores. It's just more adventurous. I am really excited for this one because I am a big fan of Big Brain Academy. And this is a series just didn't think you're going to see again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you'll love it. And especially for your kids, because your kids are now 5 and 7.
Yes. 5 and 7. Yeah.
5 and 7. So this is going to be a game where it is obvious that you're doing an educational game, but it's still fun. You know what I mean?
My wife will love this game. She loves this shit. Yep. She's going to be all over it.
And they are really highlighting the local multiplayer, because I don't think it really had local multiplayer before with 4 players. So you guys are perfect. You guys can all play this together, and your kids are going to be learning, but they're going to be having fun with you guys. It's going to be great.
You said you could select almost like the age group or something for each player, or?
I think you can. Every person has sort of like their age range or whatever. We don't know the full details.
Okay.
But yeah, like you're not getting the same challenges as maybe your kid. It's going to be a little age adjusted. The other thing I in the trailer we got what did this came down like a few days ago. The other thing about this is there is some online element to it, but it looks like so far it's just ghost data. So if you have a friend that's done a particular challenge, you can try to beat their score just like Mario Kart. But I have not seen any evidence yet that you can play someone directly online. That doesn't mean that it won't be there because this game comes out in December. But we don't know that yet. So I'm hoping that they just give more information as we get closer. Nintendo does that. They don't give you all the information up front.
Yeah.
And then maybe let you know later. We're kind of expecting potentially a September Direct for a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we would get that right away, but this is going to be a fun game. And I think it's going to be cheaper too. I don't think it's a $60 retail game. So you'll be able to get this one, I think, for cheaper. I'll look it up. But this is a must buy for your household.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a go. I mean, then speaking of that Direct, let's hope that Direct is next week, so something can shadow drop for my plane ride. That would be ideal.
That would be fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Mario Golf Lead update.
4.
What an update. I mean, what a lead. What a season. This is fucking fantastic. I love it. I thank all of you 38 people, whatever the hell it was that played this thing. The playoffs are upon us. I'll get to that in a minute. But we need to wrap up the end of the year lead season tournament, which was named after, if you didn't figure it out by now, John's beloved favorite pet, Cannoli the cat, the Cannoli Cup. That was what we had. And what a great turnout. We had 15 people, and let me read down the list here. We had Matt's Power, TX Trey, myself, Stars No More, Hambone Johnny, Strategery, the Informant, Bob Cousy, Kevin. By the way, timeout. We gotta give a big shout out to Bob Cousy. He's a big longtime fan. Kevin, I want to say thank you, honestly. He was kind enough to send us a very nice care package with some plushies, some other goodies. Thank you, kind sir. Truly appreciated. My kids were almost as excited as I am, but no one ever gets excited as me when it comes to plushies. So thank you. Back to the list. Phoenix Down, Laffer, Chris HL94, Spider Shan, Datfast, Zablanc, and Bruce to go Bab. I still don't really understand what that is. What is that?
I have no idea.
I don't
even know if that's how he pronounces it.
If you listen, what is Todobab, Todobab, whatever you want to call it? What does it mean? What is the mystery behind it? All right, so the winner of a $10 eShip gift card.
eShip?
eShip? Is that what I said? Eat shit. The eShop gift card goes to Matt's Power. Yeah, he killed it. He had 12 birdies and 3 eagles. He played a great round. He also got the bonus points for the fairways hit and for averaging 1 putt or less. That's incredible. But we do need to give a shout out because I think somehow Jesse Laffer beat the system because, John, he won the longest drive competition.
That is crazy.
It gets you absolutely nothing. Well, I get you some points. It gets you some bonus points. 5 bonus points, indeed, which really bumped them up the leaderboard. But I'm glad to see it. John, you finished in second to last place. Congratulations.
I'm not surprised by that.
I finished in third, but what a roller coaster.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Not everybody played the Cannoli Cup.
Yeah. What does that have to do?
I'm not in second to last. You're not counting all the people who didn't even compete.
The Cannoli Cup is an optional tournament outside of the league.
Yes, but my score was better than the non-scorers,
No.
so you can't say I'm second to last.
I
only
can
because
say
how
that.
many people didn't compete? Like 8?
It doesn't.
It matters. It matters, Drew.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it matters.
Anyways, it is time to do the random drawing. So the other 14 people that I mentioned, besides Matt's Power, technically going to throw out Jesse because he's not eligible. I guess myself and John are technically eligible. We'll see what happens.
It hasn't helped me much.
So there's a possibility of how many numbers? 289 numbers. On this show, we like to hit the number how many times, John? 10 times. Usually hit the random generated number.
I like to do it 10 times.
10. All right, let's do that 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I want this
10.
money, Drew. I want it.
Oh my God. Someone's going to make me do a lot of math. Holy shit. Number 283.
Count from the bottom.
John, I think that's fucking you. It's you. It is you. You rat bastard.
283, second to last place, has won me the money.
The guy had 8 points. He had 4 birdies. That was it.
4
no
birdies is a
points.
lot.
No, it's not.
You know what it is? I knew 283 would be the number, and I purposefully played like garbage to get myself to the bottom of the leaderboard. What? What are you doing? Don't tell me you miscalculated.
No, I didn't. I did some updates for the playoffs, which we'll talk to in a minute. I can't believe this shit.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yes.
So Blanc wins. It's as simple as that. You'll
Is
get
that
paid.
the first time I ever won a lotto? I think that might be the first time I've ever won a lotto.
It's possible. So you, Matt's Power, again, as we mentioned earlier, we're holding all payouts until the end of the season. In case you have multiple payouts, we didn't combine them to minimize the transactions, I just wanted to say. The other thing I want to talk about really quickly is the playoffs. As you remember, the top 16 people made the playoffs. I really should read all your names, give you a nice congratulatory, but I think that seems like a lot of effort after I just read all those other names. So you know who you are. Congratulations. The first round is complete. We had some great matches, some blowouts, some really close ones. John, I just have to say, I played my match, and it was against Phoenix Down. It was the most stressful, intense thing I've ever done in my entire life regarding a video game. My wife thought I was out of control. I was drinking beer. I was yelling. I'm screaming. We went 25 holes. We just kept tying and tying and tying. And it was just a battle of epic ages. I wish I streamed it or recorded it.
I recorded your chat. You were chatting to me during this.
Yes.
You sounded like the most despondent person. Like, I can't believe I lost. And then you're like, no, it's still going. I was like, what's going on? You were just going back and forth. You were like completely crazy.
Yeah, it was out of control. It was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking.
It was nerve-wracking for me.
The only big upset was really the 13 seed Informant beat the number 4 seed, Third Strongest Mole. Like I said, this is a totally different game now. You know, there's no do-overs, there's no restarting, there's no nothing. This is live stuff. You're playing online. I will say there was just an update I received. Hambone Johnny, the number 2 seed, did take down Bald Seedle, so he is now in the final 4. Congrats. And it's going to be a roller coaster. If I win my match against the Strategery, I will be playing Hambone Johnny. The other cool thing we did was everyone had to pick a character up front. I picked Bowser. But the tricky part is now we're getting down to the wire where if I play Hambone Johnny, he also has Bowser. Since he's the better seed, I'm going to have to pit somebody else.
That's interesting. Yeah, if you do beat the Strategery, and who knows, because you're a little shaky in this tournament.
Yeah.
Hambone Johnny can stream. So I would love to watch that, you guys. If you guys can set up a nice time, I'd love to see Hambone versus Drew.
We could do that. We could figure that out. That would be an absolute blast.
I have a question for you, Drew.
Sure.
How you mentioned in this tournament, there's no restarts, there's no second tries, third tries, eighth tries. And I know some of the better people in the tournament, you, Max, Hambone, you guys aren't just playing one time. You guys are playing many, many times trying to get the best score. So
it's funny because when I played in the regular tournament was, you know, it sounds like I played a lot, but I know my skill set where like I need to go birdie eagle. Like I usually restart. If I restart, it's within the first 3 holes.
Right.
I would never restart on like hole 8 or 9. I would keep going. I need to get through those first 3 or 4 holes at a comfortable pace that I
And
think
you
is good.
start. You don't always start on the first hole, right? You start.
I do.
Oh,
I
you
always
do?
do.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah, I'm
okay.
playing them in order.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't that crazy about restarting all the time. I don't know. There's something that's like a little self-pity as well as like when I'm like running the lead. It's like I don't need to win every week. As weird as that sounds.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm not saying I could have. Some of those guys are tough players. I don't think I could have beat them if I tried 1,000 times.
But do you find that this tournament is going to be it's harder because you might have a bad, I mean, even the guys at the top of the league can have a bad go at it, and you can't do a restart. So
can't do a restart.
There's
no you can't use your me character, right? So there's a lot of people that went and farmed and matched out their me characters for this tournament.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. You're not going to drive the ball 400 yards. So yeah, it's everyone's on an even playing field. I did start turning off power shots to even make it more even playing field. Now that we're getting down to the wire, it's going to be raw talent. Raw talent's going to bring it home. That's it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Nice. That's all I got from Mario Golf League Update. Next week, actually, by the time we record in 2 weeks, we might have a winner.
That would be great.
We should.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I looked it up. I did win the lotto one time in Monthly Mayhem history. It was the first one, Cuphead. And I now remember when I had to tell, because I let Marty know our winners after every event.
Yep.
And I had to tell him that I won the lotto. The guy who was co-running the Monthly Mayhem,
the first one,
had won the lotto. Like, I mean, how shady does that sound? I totally did win it. I've always been on the up and up, and I've never won it since until you just did it now. So thank you, Drew. You made my day. Well, now I have the money to buy Ages of Mages.
You should. It goes to show you could suck at the game and finish second to last and still win. So never give up hope, folks. That's the beauty of Monthly Mayhem. It truly is.
Let's step up the intensity. Ouch! Now that was a great workout.
Number 6.
I sorry, Sadie, I stepped on you. Drew, it was a pleasure to watch you react to that live. I've never seen that before.
I love it. I love it.
That took me a long time to put that clip together. That is, if anybody doesn't know, those are smash sounds. And I just stitched them together in the most dirty way possible for Wii Fit Trainer. That's not a clip you can find anywhere, only on this show, folks.
Remember when we pitched this segment a long time ago and it just was way too much effort, where it was called Porn or Pond?
Yes.
And it was supposed to be this is the archives, folks. It was supposed to be a segment where I would play a clip of either it was legit a sound clip of porn, or it was legit a sound clip of a video game streamer reacting to something, right? And John was supposed to guess, was it porn or was it someone being pawned?
Yeah.
And it was just too much work, to be honest. And I felt weird, like, downloading.
You have to watch so many streamers.
That's the hard part. The porn part was easy. It was the other part that was hard.
Right.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Maybe people need to send us in the clips and then we can put it together.
Ebicel will do it.
Anyways, I'm hijacking Sadie and her number 6. John, what do we have at number 6?
Well, we just talked about Monthly Mayhem's Mario Golf Tournament. Let's talk Monthly Mayhem.
Yeah.
Guys, this is behind the scenes stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about how the sausage is made. Drew has been running Mayhem for the last 2 events that seemingly has gone back for like 4 months. You did the Mario Golf League. You do all the work on the Mario Golf League. And then you did the one before it, which was what the flip was the one before.
Oh my God. I can't remember.
And you did all the work for it. But now is the time to give Drew a break. Drew, sit down, take a break. I'm going to take over. We are now going to announce the next Monthly Mayhem.
Yes.
Starts September 10th. That's right. WarioWare. Get It Together is the next Monthly Mayhem. Exciting. If you haven't been in the Golf League, which is basically nobody because everybody's been in the Golf League.
That's true.
We're going to go back to a solo format, no tournaments, nothing like that. And this Mayhem could not be easier. There are 2 prizes. We are not going to have a lotto this time. The $15 main prize will go to the best 2-player co-op streak. So if you have played this demo, the most points you can put up in a 2-player co-op game on WarioWare, and that $15 prize will go to your playing partner. So pick your playing partner. You can pick your wife, you can pick your husband, you can pick one of your kids. You can pick one of the other people in the Discord, maybe, if you live nearby each other. I don't give a crap. But pick a partner. You can pick multiple partners. I'm not going to discriminate against that either. But the top score that you can get in 2-player WarioWare will get you $15. And there's a solo competition. The top score in solo competition, just you, $10. Now, you can't win both of these prizes. You have to choose, but you can compete in both. So you can take first place in both if you want, but you're not going to get the prize. You have to pick which prize you want. And remember, if you get that 2-player co-op prize, that prize goes to your partner, not you. So we'll just have to play honesty here.
Well, the honesty is going to be cheap.
So if Drew and Amy, for example, if they go for the 2-player competition, let's say they score 100 points. This $15 will go to Amy so she can put it towards Life is Strange.
Or she can buy me some Crop Reviver.
Or, honestly, and Drew's the kind of guy, if he won the solo competition too, he'd probably just take the $10 and keep it for himself.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So that's it. And that's it. Now, the game is not out. And, when we do these mayhems, we try to do them for the newer games. We try to do them for cheaper games too. In this case, WarioWare is just too perfect. We're all going to have a lot of fun with it. And I know a lot of people are going to buy it. But it starts on September 10th and we don't have the game. We do have the demo, but we don't have the game. So some details of this competition may evolve in the first few days after the game comes out and we get a chance. Mm-hmm. Right now, my assumption is you need to play this on the full game. I would like to make it available on the demo, but the demo might be pretty different from the main game. So you might not be able to score as much on the demo as you could in the real game.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is you're not going to have all the characters. We know that for a fact.
Right.
So you might have the good characters that really help you go a little bit further.
Yeah.
But John, I mean, are we saying you can't play if you don't have the full game, or is there no true way of playing it?
I am not saying that at all. I am saying that I don't know right now if there's a difference enough where it will matter. So I would like it to be that the demo would work just fine too. Yep, but there is a chance I might have to say, no, you can't do it on the demo. There's an unfair advantage or whatever.
Agreed.
However, if the unfair advantage comes from you having the full game, then I will say, yeah, you can play the demo just fine. You'll be at an unfair advantage, but you can put up a score. And maybe you'll win. Who knows?
There's no random in this one, but you never know.
Yeah, so stay tuned the first few days. I will try to clarify it once we get the game and we have more information. But this is going to be a lot of fun. It is going to run from September 10th to October 2nd. So it's about 3 weeks. So, you want to get on it right away. This is going to be a blast. I'm going to try to have some 2-player scores with all my kids, maybe my wife too. And basically I'm going to figure out which of my kids is better. And then I'm just going to say to the other 2, get the hell out of here.
I like that.
I need to try to win this. And
can you record that for us when you tell your other kids that they suck?
Absolutely not. I'm going to tell them you stink and go get my ball wipes because daddy needs the rub. But yeah, so hopefully everyone has a lot of fun with this. It is all, you can just do the solo competition if you want. If you are tired of golf, come on board. Let's play. Drew, the golf tournament will still be going on once this starts.
And it might not be. It's going to be close to being over, though. It's going to be close.
I know by the time this hits, I think there's going to be 8 or 4 people left. So, but you can compete in both. They're just totally separate. So, just go for it. So, hopefully everybody just has a lot of fun, and let's kick this off on Friday. I cannot wait.
Number 5.
Drew, I have a quote for you.
Sure.
I'm just going to read this quote to you out of context. I'm just going to read this to you. This is a quote from a person And it says, first of all, you carry less weight on you with all the sweat. You feel rejuvenated, you feel fresh, and you don't have all the sweat bothering you and coming in your face, on your fingers, everywhere, all over your body. It makes you feel better. What do you think we're talking about here, Drew?
Masturbation. It's gotta be.
This is a quote from a professional tennis player named Stefano Tsitsipas. He is Greek. He's 23 years old, and he's one of the best men's tennis players. I think he's actually the number 3 rated tennis player, but he's a top 10 player. And recently, a week ago, there was a controversy because he went to take a bathroom break during a tennis match at the U.S. Open and was on the toilet for 20 minutes. Now, this was a little bit controversy. He was going up against Andy Murray. He's done this before. And I think the thinking here is that he's actually in the bathroom texting with his coach. You're not allowed to get coaching instruction during a tennis match. That is a tennis rule. And he might be going to the bathroom so he can text with his coach. They actually had the camera showing his coach texting. That's certainly not proof of anything. But there was a controversy. It made Andy Murray very upset. He is not a tennis player that is well loved either. He is a bit of a prick. He's dressed down some umpires. He's kind of a free spirit. He's kind of one of those guys you either love him or hate him.
I love him already.
Jackass. Yeah.
Already.
But it did remind me, let's assume he really is in the bathroom for 20 minutes during the U.S. Open with a stadium full of fans and his opponent waiting for him to finish shitting.
Amazing.
Is this the most pressure-packed shit in the world's history? And have you ever had a pressure shit like this before?
I have. I have a story for you.
I want it.
I mean, who knew? Who knew that this story would come up on a relevant topic? When I was younger, just, as many of you know, I referee hockey. I'm an ice hockey referee.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I was, new to the officiating of hockey. And I was on the ice refereeing a game. And I had to shit so bad. And I mean, you can't just get off the ice when you're the referee. So there's 2 referees. And I told the other referee and I told the coach, I said, I wear contacts. My contact fell out. I lost it. I don't wear contacts. That's a lie. I said, I gotta go to the room. I gotta go change up and put my other contacts in.
What a lie.
And I got off the ice in the middle of a hockey game and took a shit. And you feel pressured because it's like, I have to get back out there quick, but I don't want to be prairie. I don't want to get half of this shit out. So it's like, you gotta make sure you get it all out. You sit there and then you get back on the ice. And then you're always worried about what if I dust up in my pants? So, you have your hockey gear on and you're like, what if,
toilet paper stuck to you?
Yeah. What if I didn't zip up my fly or put the belt on right? Like, they don't know.
Right.
So yeah, ice hockey pressure.
Sweating.
I
can't see. That's amazing because you can as a ref, right? You have to go between periods, right? You get plenty of time between periods, so that's fine. But this obviously came up.
This was before college. This was like youth hockey, so you don't get off the ice between periods in youth hockey.
Oh, they don't have an intermission.
No,
because the kids.
You stay on for the whole game. Yeah, so there's smaller periods, but yeah.
Okay. No, interesting. Yeah, that would be pressure, especially because you have a bunch of people waiting. I don't know how many people were in the stands or watching, parents, kids, or whatever. This just seems like this is a tennis major, and 20 minutes with people knowing that you're in the bathroom.
Amazing.
It's amazing to me.
What do they? I mean, do you think they announce it? I mean, I didn't watch this obviously, but are they saying please stand by when Tsitsipas, whatever his name is, relieves himself? What are they telling the fans?
They're saying, apparently this is a number 2, and we might be delayed. No, I think everyone was very aware. I think anybody who watches tennis would be very aware that the player, is probably going to the bathroom. And
but here's my other question.
Wow,
this was in the middle of a match?
Yes.
I did tennis matches into a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to assume, like, as a professional athlete, like, you want your stomach to be pretty empty for any type of, like, hardcore exercise. And, like, it's just in the middle of a match. It's like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It seems kind of odd.
I think going to the bathroom seems like, yeah, that could happen. But like for an athlete, and in fact, I think the quote from Andy Murray was he was arguing with the ump. He's like, you think this is fine? Because I think he suspected that he was talking to his coach. And he said, I've never been in the bathroom for more than a few minutes. What is this or whatever? And I was kind of thinking like, really? That's like, oh, I've been in the bathroom for more than a few minutes. Like this has happened. But for like a world-class athlete, you got to think their body is just very efficient, whatever. I think he was kind of texting with the coach. But yeah, like, man, this is pressure. The most pressure I've definitely had, especially since I've been working from home the last couple of years, where you have to get on a Zoom call or a meeting. And it's like 3 minutes to the meeting and you realize you have to go to the bathroom. Ooh. And it's like a 1 hour call or something. And you're like, do I do it now? I have 3 minutes. Do I just try to do it now? I can probably show up a minute late. Or do I just wait an hour? But what happens if in the middle of it, I have to go, like it's going to look bad. And I've definitely had that sort of thing. I remember one time too, my family and I, we were going to drive somewhere. And I was like, oh, I just got to run to the bathroom real quick. I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. And man, I was like stuck in there for 15 minutes and like my kids and wife just like waiting to leave.
It's the worst.
And it doesn't make it any better. The pressure makes it worse.
It does. But, you just tell them, hey, you want me to be, shitting my pants while you guys are in the car and then the whole car is going to smell? Or do you want to wait 10 minutes?
I know. I've told my wife sometimes where she say, what took you so long and whatever. And I always, my response is always, oh, do you want the long detailed story? Because it's like, I will give it to you.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What a story. What a story.
That's more than I can handle.
Number 4.
This is our newest and one of my favorite segments called We'll Take Those, when we look at the questions from the Nintendo Dads podcast this week and steal them. We bring them onto our show and we answer them for you.
This is genius, Drew. We're geniuses.
I mean, I like to say you're the genius. This was all your idea. This one, I can't take credit for this one, just like you can't take credit for Mario Golf. So the first question from Meta Dragon 101 says, if you think about it, if you play any kind of game, doesn't that make you a gamer? So someone who loves to play tic-tac-toe, go fish, even a sports like baseball should be considered a gamer. The question here is, what do you classify as a gamer? And why do you think people don't want to be called a gamer? Now, John, I believe you had an interesting gamer situation recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had I have 2 Twitter accounts. One is our Nintendo Dads After Dark show account. The other is my personal account. And I can get pretty opinionated on there. If you follow me, and that's Into Zablanc, you will find I talk a lot about the New York Mets. I have some political views. I do not ever hold back on that account. That's just my opinion account. Take it or leave it. No big deal. No harm, no foul. I had somebody get so mad about something that I said. I can't remember what it was. And they went looking through my bio. And in my bio, I say that I'm, blah, 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 father, whatever, and gamer. And they insulted me for calling myself a gamer. I mean, like, that's where we've gone. So in this question, Mecha Dragon's talking about, like, people don't like to be called gamer. People will actually weaponize that fact if you call yourself a gamer. I found that pretty good. But it's an interesting question. The term gamer, like, some people don't like the term gamer. I have no problem with it, obviously, because I'm calling myself a gamer.
No, I don't either.
I will say, though, that if you play tic-tac-toe or go fish or whatever, I don't think that makes you a gamer. I think when we say gamer, we really do mean video games.
Agreed.
I understand agreed. The word is general and vague, but we do mean playing video games. I don't know what board game people are, but like for chess, I love to play chess. I don't call people who play chess a gamer. I call people who play chess players.
Yeah,
so I
agreed.
think some of these have like a checkers player. Like there are names for it. We don't have a name for a tic-tac-toe player.
No,
but if it was a sport, maybe we would.
Well, I think sports would be athletes, right? I think that's I think that's the big difference. I agree. I think gamer was coined with video games in mind. I think the problem is the word gamer is still very like stereotype of what you consider a gamer, where, you know, it is that guy who's just, you know, has no life. He's the loser. He's the nerd. He's the gamer. So I think there's a lot of people in the world to still classify that title with that picture, right? And then I think, you know, in our community of the Nintendo dads, we're all a little bit older and still gamers. I think there's almost in a weird way that, you know, embarrassment. I hate to say it, but I think people almost feel like embarrassed when you look at your professional life and then you have your social and personal life, right? You know, me personally, I have no shame, but there's people that might not want to associate in their business life that they're a video gamer outside of that, because there's certain people in that business world that look down on gamers, or they don't realize or recognize that what that gamer title means, right?
Right.
So I think that's the problem with the title of gamer, right? The video games is always been a bad rap just because it is what it is. You know, it's not, you're not out there necessarily always socializing in person. It's that behind the screen type thing, which, you know, a lot of our parents still don't understand that. I think once that generation, I hate to say it, moves on, and our generation is now like the older, I think it will be more, you know, people will be more forgiving with it. But
well said.
All right, next question comes from Tegan. Simple one. What's your favorite donut?
This was a little girl. This was a Nintendo dad's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved this.
Great question.
Voice on there. What do you got, John?
I couldn't think of anything specific. I've gone to like Voodoo Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, which I'm a big fan of, all of them. And I couldn't name like specific ones, but I will say in general, my favorite donut is the apple fritter. It's always a little different than the others. I love the apple. I love, they're usually more doughy, a little thicker as well. I love Krispy Kreme donuts, for example, but they're so soft. I feel like I'm just biting into like a cloud. And I like my donuts more like Dunkin' Donuts. I like them a little more girthy. Yeah. Always going for the apple fritters.
Yeah, it's funny because Dunkin' Donuts, you know, not known for like the best donuts, but there's something about them. You're right that they're just easy to eat. And I'm a simple guy. I love just a simple chocolate glazed plain donut. You know, the plain donut with the chocolate frosting on there. Chocolate frosted donut. I'm sorry, chocolate frosted donut.
Frosted. So that's like the plain donut with like the chocolate on the top.
Yep. Nice and easy. Simple. You need them in the car. It doesn't make too much mess. And then I also am a big fan of like the plain donut stick, which is just like a plain donut, but, you know, the shape of like a penis rather than like a boob. That makes sense?
Oh, like a crawler.
Yeah, crawler.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I was going to say crawler. I didn't know if that's a word a lot of people know, because I've gone to donut.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those things.
Yeah. I think those are. I don't see them everywhere. I think that might be very Dunkin' Donut-y. I'm not sure.
Well, I think but I've tried you either call them a donut stick. That's what people.
That's a dumb name.
I like the crawler.
That's a stupid.
All right.
Also, I will also say too, a box of Munchkins, and that's very Dunkin' Donut specific. Give me a box of. Oh God, Drew. You know what? Maybe I'll do that Monday. But a box, a 50 count box of Munchkins, I can get through that thing by myself, not a problem.
Oh my God. Why don't you do that the first thing in the morning? Go get yourself a nice pumpkin spice latte and get some 50 Munchkins and bring it home for the family.
No. Oh, for me.
Well, they did 2 50s.
Yeah.
This one's for me.
This one's for you.
Get 100 Munchkins. Oh you're going to have some pressure shitting.
When you get, yes, I know. When you get Munchkins, the only thing I always say with Munchkins is I don't want the powdered ones. I cannot stand the powdered ones.
Those aren't good. I like jelly, though.
I like a jelly donut, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The powdered ones are just, there's nothing to them. They're not. Yeah, I agree. All right, last question here from Eric Plunk. What is your earliest gaming memory?
I love these kinds of questions because you really have to delve into your head. I actually have an earliest gaming memory. I have 2 of them, and I actually don't know which one is earlier than the other. But one of them, I'll just go with one of them, which is I remember being in the basement, kind of like a basement living room area in my house back in New York when I grew up and lived in New York. And we played Atari 2600, and the game was Adventure. This is the first game that I remember ever playing.
Ready Player One throwback there.
I know. And Adventure is a magical game. I won't go, I won't describe the whole thing, but there's castles and there's dragons and there's items that you find and they make magical sounds when you pick them up, and a bridge to get through walls. It's such a great game. And when I was a kid, there are these dragons that come at you. They look like birds. They don't look really dragony, but it was Atari.
Like squares.
And the only way to kill a dragon is by holding the arrow. You pick it, literally, it's just an arrow that faces to the left. And you pick it up and you have to kind of point it into the dragon. And when I was a little kid, I was basically watching my siblings play. And I would scream out, like when a dragon came on screen. And I'd be like, get the arrow, whatever. And my my siblings would rib me basically for the rest of my life about get the arrow. So that's my earliest gaming memory. And to this day is still one of the most special kind of games to me. I don't have the original cartridge we had or anything like that. But when I started collecting Atari, it was one of the first games I made sure to pick up. Still one of the best games to this day.
Awesome. So my favorite one is when I was a young lad, maybe like 3 years old. I remember when I went to sleep at night, I could hear my parents playing Super Mario, first one.
Wow.
On the NES. So I would hear like the music and the sound effects, like literally would fall asleep in my bed, down the hallway. They were playing the game, and I would hear it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Hearing them play. They didn't really play too much in front of us, but they used to definitely play a little bit like after we would go to bed. And just a cool memory I'll always have.
You think they were just like playing the music as a cover while they're,
That's I mean,
put the Mario up real loud.
that Nintendo thing.
Yeah, they never played a game like you asked.
No idea what it is.
I can't believe you guys played Mario when I was a kid. And they're like, what? Play what now?
Oh,
that's
boy.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Number 3.
All right, Drew, I'm good for these psychological things because
of course.
I'm kind of a nutcase at times. So I love Game Pass. It is great. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but one of the weird things about Game Pass to me is you pay $10 a month. Yes, it's $10 a month, Mega Dragon 101. You pay $10 a month and you have over 100 games available to you. You can just download and play whatever, with hardly any time constraints because you get so much time. But even though it's just $10 a month, Drew, it makes you feel like you need to be playing it. So I have my Xbox right now. I have 2 types of games. I have Game Pass, and I have a bunch of games downloaded that I need to get to. And then I have games that I own or games that maybe I want to buy from the store and buy them, and I just buy them digitally, and that's it. So I have games I own, games that are Game Pass. And I always feel compelled to be using Game Pass. I haven't played an Xbox game since I finished Bloodroots over a week ago. And I always feel compelled to be playing Game Pass because I'm paying $10 a month for it. And $10 a month is not... I play Bloodroots. That's a $20 game. That should buy me 2 months of Game Pass. Like that should be like just I'm playing using house money right now. But I feel
free money.
Compelled,
some may say free
money. But I feel
money.
Compelled to play it because I have this subscription. And even though I got my money's worth with Bloodroots, well, I can get even more money's worth if I play, the Walking Dead season 1 that I have on there, or if I play this game. So what I am going to be doing is in October when I had a 3-month card that I used and it's going to expire in October. I am not going to extend my Game Pass. Not the first time that I stopped with Game Pass, because I'm just going to give myself some time to play games that I own. I have Cyberpunk, for example. Twin Mirror is a game I've been wanting to buy, and I want to give XCOM 2 another try. So I'm going to let it expire for the rest of the year so that I can play some of these games that I own without feeling bad that I have a $10 subscription going. So my first question to you, Drew, is, and I know you don't have Game Pass, have you ever felt compelled to use a streaming service not because you necessarily want to be using it at that moment, but because you are paying a monthly subscription and you want to make sure you get your money's worth every month?
Great question. I have to sidetrack for a minute and say my balls smell fucking fabulous right now. They're degenerating up. Anyways, it's such a tricky question to juggle between these networks, but the simple answer, no. I'm really bad when it comes to like money that you don't see that you're spending.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy, and most of us have done it a while back. I got rid of the cable, right? I pay, I think my bill is $109, and that includes my internet and YouTube TV. So, which is pretty much cable nowadays. It has everything. So, like, I all this extra stuff, it's like, it's just blended. You have smart TVs now. You're all logged in. It's like, it's hard to really see what you're paying. But no, I never feel like, shit, we haven't watched anything on HBO Max in a while. Maybe we should go look. Maybe I should be looking at that and say, listen, I haven't touched this in 2 months. Maybe it's time to cancel it.
Some people will rotate their streaming services, which I would love to do, but my wife just won't let me cancel any of them right now.
It's a lot of work, I mean, it's like each network is smart where they schedule their release of these new shows or the next season. That's like, it's hard to just cancel. It's like, it's too much effort. It's just too much effort.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. It's a tough one, but I personally do not look at it from that point of view. They're all there, especially like the kids will randomly get on, the binge of watching some random show on Netflix and then Hulu and then Amazon Prime, and it's like,
it's like, can we focus on one so I can cancel the other?
Yep, nope, doesn't work that way.
Even HBO Max, they're doing like those Warner Brothers movies that they're doing day one. It's like 30 days and it's gone. So you can't really even go a month sometimes because you might totally miss Suicide Squad or some other.
Like, why not? I would have never watched Suicide Squad. Never.
Yeah.
But I watched it.
Yeah.
It's like, why? They're probably getting more people that'll watch them than they would ever have.
It was good, right? I liked it. I really liked it.
It was fine. It was okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just going to go the rest of the year. I just got some games, and it'll allow me the time to play those games guilt-free. And then I'll just resubscribe again. No big deal. No big loss. That sort of thing. All right. Well, I'm just crazy. Go back to it.
Number 2.
Spelunky. It's time. We've mentioned it early on when John fucked up, but we're back here in reality. Spelunky. Now, John, we both went with Spelunky 1.
Yes.
For a few reasons. It was $10 rather than $20.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know what to get into. We wanted to start from the beginning to try to see, because we also said, what if we love Spelunky 2? Then you're going backwards, and how would that work? So what's your gut reaction? How many hours have you played so far? How far did you get? What's your overall, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, disappointed? What do you got?
Yeah, pretty disappointed. I've been wanting to play this game in a while. They talk about it a lot on Game Maker's Toolkit, which is one of my favorite YouTube shows. And yeah, we waited a while, and it's not fun. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. And this game's, I think, a few years old, but like, it's not as fun as I thought it would be. My first impressions were, like when you finally get into the caves, after like doing the tutorial and whatever, and then they open up the cave, like that moment was so magical to me. It was like, here we go, we're going in the caves. But your character moves pretty slow. I've kind of learned that you can use the turbo button, and like I was doing some runs where I was like constantly running, but that's going to lead to death. So there are definitely places where you should use the turbo button if you can, but you really do have to be careful. You can't just like spam it and hold it down. But your character moves pretty slow. Their whip is very minimal. Like even the controls for like a bomb and stuff are pretty ticky-tack and strict. I get it that there are shops and there are likely upgrades that are going to come that are going to make your attack more powerful. And I've gotten an upgrade that will that makes your jump higher. And it really feels great when you get those upgrades because your character is so stripped down at the beginning of your run. But so far, I mean, it just hasn't been fun. And in a game like Hades, where you get weapon upgrades and stuff like that as you play, but it's still fun from the beginning. It doesn't have to be completely boring from the beginning. And every time you start a new run in Spelunky, it's just so slow and methodical. Yeah. And I know I got to get the gold so I can get, buy something and whatever. And there's just this boilerplate of it that just doesn't feel very fun. And it's making it harder to get through those runs until I get better so that I can get those upgrades and really enjoy it more.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I wanted it to be fun, and it wasn't. You hit something too with you said something too about like Hades that even reminds me back to like Enter the Dungeon, where I loved Enter the Dungeon. But my biggest flaw with Enter the Dungeon was there were so many secrets with like the robot and hidden floors and stuff like that. And it sounds like this game has those too, but I don't know what the fuck to do. Like there was this like sacrifice, like looking table. Did you get that? With those like blood on it?
I think I did see that. Yeah.
I blew it up once and 1,000 spiders came out of it. But like I didn't know what to do with it. Even the gold idols that when you take them, the Indiana Jones ball comes down. I was like, wow, if I get this, I'm gonna get like a permanent upgrade. No, it's just a lot of gold.
Yeah,
like, that's all it did.
Right.
So I wasn't satisfied with like what am I trying to do? Am I just trying to get through the doors and that's all that matters? And the other thing I wish was, and it hurts me to say this because I love roguelites and I hate like kind of like the Metrovania, whatever they're called, games. But I wish this was that. I wish this was just one huge map, right? And it was you just to just move around the map and you could find items and move forward. I almost hate like the small levels where you just go to the door and you open up the next level. You go to it's the same shit over and over and over again. And then it's like you said, it's just like you're slow and like it gets repetitive with the same spiders and crap all the time. And
there's a guy in the game that digs shortcuts. I got through the 4 mine levels and I got to the guy who can build a shortcut, but you needed a bomb and I didn't know that. And I had 0 bombs at the time. It happened to be a run where I was getting bomb happy because I was practicing breaking the walls and getting the gold out of them. And so I wasn't able to build the tunnel into the second area, which was the garden, which is unfortunate because I felt like it would be really nice to start in the garden.
The jungle, isn't it?
Oh, the jungle. You're right. It would be nice to start in the jungle, so I don't have to do the mines over again. Because you're right, when you start in the mines, you hear the lady screaming for you, and then the same little enemies, and you start doing that thing in games where you start trying to rush because you're like, okay, this part's easy. I'm just gonna rush, and then you just die.
You might as well just turn the game off at that point.
You have to be so methodical and careful. It's just it forces you to play the game in a way that you don't enjoy.
Can we talk about the shortcut guy for a second? Because I made it back a second time and I gave him a bomb.
Oh yeah, what happened?
I don't fucking know. Nothing. I can't. There's no shortcut. Doesn't exist.
So there must be a place where you can shortcut there.
When you go back to the main. Here's the other problem, though. When you restart your game, if you do a quick start, it puts you right back in the first world.
Right.
If you say no quick start, you go back to the main menu and do a new game, you go back to that little, like, it's like one screen and you enter the cave. But if you go all the way left, there's a ladder that goes up top and there's like a little sign that says, I thought that was the shortcut zone, but there was nothing there.
Interesting.
So I don't know what it did.
Huh. I was going to say, though, like, I like the discovery in this game. Like you said before, you found this altar and you don't know what to do with it. And there's some discovery there. There might be multiple things you can do with it. Like you said, you blew it up. I never thought to blow it up, but you blew it up and spiders came out. But there's probably something that maybe you can put on the altar. I don't know.
I don't know.
No spoilers, guys, but I don't know. And that's kind of fun. But it also reminds me of Don't Starve, where there is discovery and all that stuff. But sometimes there's just shit you would never think of. And you just end up having to look things up. And I don't like games where you look up something and you know it. Like people will talk about a game like Spelunky and they might say, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do this. And it's like, well, how do you know? And you're like, well, I looked it up. I feel there should be discovery, but at the same time, it should be somewhat sensible so that I can discover it and feel good.
You want to experience it, right? And that's my point is, next to that altar, there should have been like a little sign on the wall that had a picture of that gold idol with like an arrow. Oh, I have to put the golden idol and put it on the altar and something cool will happen.
Right.
And then it's a challenge, right? And that was a challenge I want to beat. So I'm like, who knows what will happen? Maybe a cool item. Maybe I'll skip ahead a level. Who knows? But right now, it's like to see an altar. I'm like, I'm not even bothered. I have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hate to say I want my handheld, but there's times I want to experience the game, and I don't have the patience or energy, or I don't know the know-how to do it. So you do need a little help.
Sometimes, that helps. Like with Grifflands, it helps to get some beginner tips. It's going to open up the game for you. I think this is a game that this could be an end of game where, like, maybe in this next episode or the episode after that, you and I are both going, you know what? Really enjoying Spelunky now. This definitely has in no way, I think, should either of us be interpreted as this game stinks. It should just be right now we're not having fun. And as gamers, we are inclined to stop playing. Like, I stopped playing Spelunky and just played. That's when I played Yoku's Island Express. And that's unfortunate because it hasn't let me know that I should keep playing to enjoy this game. But I will keep playing. So we'll see.
Yeah, like you said, maybe I go on the plane and I play a level or two, but I love the story. I love the art style. I love the atmosphere of the Indiana Jones vibe. I don't think I like the gameplay.
Yeah.
I almost wish it wasn't a roguelike. I truly wish it was just like a platformer. I think it would be 10 times of a better game, and it would make it a little bit easier because you're not repeat. I don't know. That's my take on it. It's fine, but not in love with it.
And we don't know what Spelunky 2 hasn't. Like, they might have made some changes to it. All right. And maybe once we figure out the shortcut guy, it kind of like right now, not knowing what it is, it reminds me of like maybe you can take the shortcut to go directly to the jungle so you can practice it more. But in the end, I feel like a successful run of Spelunky involves you starting at the mines and getting to wherever you need to go in one run.
Well, it's like that game that we played that you get more upgrades and more gold as you go. If you go right to the jungle, you have no upgrades and no gold. Right? So you've got to play the earlier
shortcut.
level.
Oh, that's a good point. You take a shortcut, but you might have less chance to succeed.
Correct.
Even enter the dungeons like that. There's a couple of secret areas that there's extra bosses, but it will help you to beat the game. Dicey dungeons. It helps you to fight more.
Yep.
I'm curious. I'm curious which one of us might actually finish it first. I don't know.
I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but
not on the plane.
And number 1.
Oh, yeah. Big rumor going on right now is that Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. This is a rumor that, I mean, this could honestly be just obvious rumor, but it's being announced in multiple places. This does not mean anything, okay? We were told we were getting a Nintendo Switch Pro, and we got something like a Pro, but we didn't get the Pro. However, the interesting thing about this rumor is how obviously timed it is. We're kind of expecting a Nintendo Direct to happen in September. We tend to get them in Septembers, and the last Direct we got was in June during E3. September 19th is the date of renewal for a lot of people. If you remember, NSO started September 19th, 2018. God, 3 years ago now. But, if you joined on that day, you did an annual membership, and your renewal is going to come up every year, and you have to decide if you want to keep it or not. It's so cheap, I don't know why you wouldn't, but there are people that have to consider it, and Nintendo wants to make sure that you decide to keep it. So this would be something that would be announced before September 19th. I don't know when it would launch, but they would announce it before September 19th, so you keep your subscription. So that means we could get a Nintendo Direct this week or next with that information. If we don't hear about this until after September 19th, I would say the rumor is just not true. How exciting would this be, Drew, if Game Boy and Game Boy Color games were added to Nintendo Switch Online?
It would be amazing because there's just a lot of games, especially in Game Boy Color, that I miss. I was a big Game Boy guy, but I never went on after that. So there's a lot of games I couldn't play. But I don't know. It depends on how they port over, right? I mean, we all remember back on the Wii days, right? When they had some of the what games did they put the 3DS? No, they put the DS games on the Wii. What did they put on the Wii?
They didn't put those games on the Wii.
There was some type of Game Boy or DS game. What am I thinking? Was it on the Wii U?
They did. Oh, they did have. Yeah, they did have some of that on WiiWare. I was never big into it, and the thought of playing those games like a DS game or something on a Wii is disgusting to me.
But
So
that's my point. And maybe it was like the dual screen that was just brutal.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is that left a bad taste in my mouth. I remember I tried played a game or two, and it was not good. So I guess I'm just very skeptical on how the old school Game Boy, right? You have that weird brownish, greenish background screen. Like, how long could you play that game on a Nintendo Switch today? Like, would I be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you physically want to or be able to play like a 5-hour game?
I agree with you. They can do things with the colors. I have like a custom Game Boy, and you can change the background colors and the foreground colors. So they might have different like color palette options. And a lot of those Game Boy games play in color. And it's amazing how many of those games play in color. They really thought about color from day one on the Game Boy games. But yeah, they're not super appealing to the eye when you only have like 4 colors. But I will say that the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color both have the advantage that they both have 2 buttons, select and start. They were very much designed after the NES controller. And you'd probably be able to play those games with the NES controller on your Switch Online. So it won't be a miserable experience like trying to play a DS game on a screen.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to come down to the game selection, right? Because you're not going to waste your time and energy on a shitty looking game of just a random one. NES is a little bit different because I think you could get away with it. Solomon's Key or whatever it might be. But, you're not going to go play something like that on Game Boy.
Right. The early Game Boys especially just look like garbage.
Correct.
But on the other hand, there is a lot of intrigue to it. There is I had a Game Boy as a kid, and some of my favorite memories were with my Game Boy. I had that like long gray case, and I kept my Game Boy in pristine condition. I'd place it in there and put the games in their cases. And I loved it.
That one, the hard shell?
Yeah, it was like a hard shell.
It looked like a big Game Boy.
It looked like a thermos, like almost like a thermos.
Wasn't it of a big Game Boy?
Yeah.
And I forgot I had that.
Those great little memories, the battery and all that stuff. It was a fun system to play. And, you could play it on a road trip or whatever. Definitely hard to see. But there's still a ton of games I've never played through. And I was thinking about it today. Like, what are these games that I would play that I would love to play on my Switch? And the first thing that always comes to my mind is Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages. Those are the only 2 Zelda games I've never played.
I need to play those as well.
Yeah.
Same.
And I have a modded Game Boy Color. I have a regular Game Boy Color. I have a Super Game Boy on my Super Nintendo. I have so many ways to play the game, and I still haven't played the game. You need a battery and all that jazz. And I think once I have it on the Switch with save states and all that, I think is when I would finally play through those games.
I would as well. I have not. I would love to, actually.
Yeah.
So for reasons like that, right? You talk about the Stitch Golden Coins and stuff like that. We've all played those.
I have not played that one, actually.
Really?
I've played Super Mario Land several times, and then I'll replay it so that I can play the second game, and then I never get to it.
You've never played the Golden... Oh, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those are both fun.
Yeah.
I would love to see those remade, put onto the Switch, all updated, colorful, turkey graphics for like $50. That would be...
Whoa.
Well, I know they're short games, maybe $40, but look what they did with Link's Awakening and stuff. So
yeah.
And speaking of Link's Awakening was what made me really probably fall in love with Zelda. I have the memories of sitting on my mom's front porch with my neighbor. He would bring over his case. I'd have my case. We'd always exchange games and play for hours and hours on end. But Link's Awakening was one of the ones that I've always played, along with Kirby's Dream Land was fun. Dr. Franken. I don't know why it jumps out at me. I just remember the game with the big pink font. And Alleyway Brick Breaker was a great one. as well as golf. I had the golf game as well. That was
what golf? You liked golf on Game Boy?
That's it. And Cupert. Remember Cupert? Whatever happened to that guy?
I'm not sure if I've ever been a big Q-Bird fan. I enjoy playing. I like when he curses when he dies in the arcade, but it's such a hard game. It's
fun.
It's
I love Q-Bird. Yeah. That's it. I mean, you had any other classic games that you remember?
Well, like I've never played. I enjoyed Kid Icarus on the NES. I still haven't played the second game on Game Boy. The Castlevania games I've never given a full shake. I know the first one's like really slow. Donkey Kong 94 is a game I've been wanting to play through, but my copy doesn't have a good battery. So I would love to see those games on there just so I can try them out. And you know what? They'll be ugly. I honestly do not like playing the squared off games on the Switch. It just reminds me that this is not the system for it. You have this wide screen, but you can only play it in a square. But yeah, I definitely force through these games, I think, if I had the opportunity. I don't need it. I don't need Game Boy and Game Boy Color on Switch.
I don't need them either.
But it would be fun to have it, to be part of the cost I'm paying. I wouldn't have to pay extra money. I would enjoy seeing it.
That's my thing. I mean, Game Boy Advance, that had the wider screen or no?
I think the screen was definitely a little bit wider. I don't think it's like HD wide, but I mean it's a little a little wider, yeah.
As much as people say they want these things and sure it'd be great, I just don't know if it's a good idea. It seems, unless it's minimal effort, right? And like you said, they need to keep it another reason to extend. I just don't see these playing well. I really don't.
I agree with you. And does it bring in a wider audience? Are there people that don't want Nintendo Switch Online, which will then get it for the Game Boy games? Or is this just something they were expecting to do? They want to eventually bring in their whole library, and this is just the next one. It doesn't necessarily mean anything other than, eventually we'll pull in N64 maybe, or GameCube or whatever.
I think you bring in Oracles of Ages and Seasons. I think that would get a lot of play because a lot of people didn't play those. I think, but besides a game like that and Six Golden Coins, I think all of us would play all of those games. But besides that, like I said, I don't know how much I would be playing of these other games. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not even guaranteed I could play an entire Zelda game. I'd have to really see how it looks,
Yeah. I tried to play that on my Game Boy Color, like I think 6 months ago or so, and I don't know, I just can't sit there and play it. I think you're right. This definitely feels like if they announce this and do this, and there's nothing like crazy or whatever, it's just Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. This is one of those things where everybody demanded it, everybody wanted it, and then it came out, and then a week later, nobody's talking about it anymore.
Exactly.
There's still a whole bunch of NES and SNES games I would rather get. I would rather them dump, here's 50 more games from the NES library. I would be way more excited about. I want Athena. I loved Athena. I want to see some of those games come out, those fringier games, more quicker than Game Boy. But if they're going to do it, like I said, if they're not raising the price of the service, I mean, if they raise the price of the service and then say there's Game Boy games, I'm like, I'll still do it, but that's not really selling me. But if they're just saying, hey, you're going to get a bunch of new free games, take it. Stop complaining. Then I'll do it. That's all there is.
Yeah. Speaking of handhelds, I have to shout out my daughter Zoe. She asked if I would mention her on the podcast tonight because she said we picked up a new game for her the other day for the 3DS. She picked up My Sims Kingdom.
Oh, I have that one. Yeah.
Yeah, $5. I said, absolutely. That is like the perfect game for a 7-year-old girl. I said, you're going to love it.
Where did you get it?
Is it Toy Vault? Do you know? Have you heard of that? Is that like
a store there?
Yeah, they sell retro. That's where I buy a lot of my plushies. They sell retro stuff, comic books, stuff like that.
Cool.
But I thought they were like a bigger brand, but maybe they might not be.
Could be East Coast thing. Yeah,
might be. But I think that's it. That's everything, John. What do we get coming up the next few weeks?
Yeah, so we got a big couple weeks here. Sonic Colors coming out on Tuesday. Sonic Colors Ultimate. This is a sort of not a remake, but an update from the Wii version. A lot of people like this game.
I've heard Nintendo tons of reports because this is one of those. If you pre-ordered it, you got it a few days early.
Yes. I think there are people already playing it.
A lot of people reporting tons of bugs that they can't move on in the game.
Shocker.
So just heads up, folks, if you're keeping this in mind, a lot of people having issues with this. My son looked interested in it, but there's no way now.
Yeah. I mean, big red flag is it's a Sonic game, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. Blood Rain Betrayal Fresh Bites. This was a game I think we saw a couple months ago. Looked really cool. Kind of an updated version of an older game, but it's a 2D Blood Rain. And Limited Run is actually selling physical copies of this. And there's a special edition too. So if you're interested in physical, go to Limited Run right now. The biggest release probably of the decade is Life is Strange True Colors, September 10th. This is not coming out on Switch, but I had to mention it right here. It's coming out on all other consoles, but you'll have to wait till later in 2021 for this on Switch. And of course, WarioWare, Get It Together, coming out the same day. Two really fun, great games coming out September 10th that could not be any different from each other. But what great compliments to one another.
Yeah, but just like we said earlier, WarioWare is not a game that you're going to play 50 hours straight.
I'm going to play a lot of WarioWare.
I will too.
Yeah.
I will.
Because it has the campaign. You want to unlock everything. And then you're going to play Mayhem. And then maybe once Mayhem's done, you're kind of done. So I hope they do some updates for that game too. And then finally, just the greatest co-host in the world, adding this, realizing that I had missed this. Cruisin' Blast, September 14th. It's a racing game.
I'm picking this up, 100%. My kids will love it. They love the arcade version of it. They're going to absolutely love this game. But what really got me going was there was a big throwback, and it reminded me a lot of the old school days of San Francisco Rush or Rush 2 on the N64, where it looks like there's a lot of collectibles in like an explore type mode where there was keys and bottles, and which makes... I love racing games that has collectibles. That's like I'm a sucker for that sometimes. So I'm all in. I'm picking this up.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of people are going to pick it up. It should be fun. And that's it. I mean, it's a packed up September. We're going to have a really packed up October. All the games are really coming out right now. So this is a good time to be a gamer.
Agreed. I think that's all then, right? That's all we got. Fun show tonight. I mean, nowhere else can you find a live product testing of our sponsors. Like you said, next week we're going to swap balls and go from there. But that's it for me. Everyone have a lovely evening, lovely day. Enjoy your week.
Good night, dads. Take it away, Sadie.
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts.
Say it, Sadie.
You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter @NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all
or
for
we might
tonight.
steal it.
Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.
I like it.
You just sprayed my balls.